Hi everyone, my name is Amitesh and in this video we're going to talk about the difference of cubes formula. What is the difference of cubes formula? The difference of cubes formula basically states the following, that if a and b are numbers, so we take the difference between the cube of a and the cube of b, we can write this as a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. That is what the difference of cubes formula tells us. Now we're going to talk about how you derive this formula, but first let's explain that why the formula is actually true. So to check it, it's a lot easier. All you have to do is just multiply out a minus b and a squared plus ab plus b squared. So let's do that. So let's write out, so this is the theorem. So we can state it mathematically as the theorem, and this is the proof. So what is the proof? Is you just have to multiply out a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared, and you use the distributive law. So you basically say this is going to be a times a squared plus ab plus b squared minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. So we can write that out as a times a squared plus ab plus b squared, and then you have minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. And then what you do is you again apply the distributive law to a times the sum of three things is a times each of the things all added up. So what you've got to do is you've got to say this is a times a squared plus a times ab plus a times b squared minus, so here it's important that the minus sign applies to each of the terms we expand out. Okay, so it's going to be, I'm going to do it in brackets first, it's going to be b times a squared plus b times ab plus b times b squared. But because you're taking a minus of a sum of things, it's going to be minus each of the things, etc. Okay, so I'm going to explain that. So this is just going to be a cubed plus a squared b. We're just collecting. A times a is a squared plus ab squared, and then we're going to have a bunch of minus signs. So we're going to have minus ba squared minus b squared a, right, because you have two b's multiplied together, minus b cubed. And now if you observe what's going to happen here, you can cancel off terms. So this is the beauty of the formula, that if you cancel off the terms a squared b and a squared b, order of multiplication doesn't matter. So you've got ba squared, a squared b, they're the same thing. And similarly you've got ab squared and b squared a, they're also the same thing. So now you're just going to get, for this formula, you're just going to get a cubed minus b cubed, which is what we want. So that is the proof of the formula. It's just a bunch of manipulations once you've got the formula down. Okay, so a couple of points on what we have to think about when we try to remember this formula is you want to remember the a minus b, because if you think about it, when the left hand side is 0, the right hand side should be 0 because they're equal. So if you think about a cubed minus b cubed, well, if a and b are equal, then the left hand side is going to be 0. So you remember that there should be an a minus b here. This is just a mnemonic to sort of remember. You've got an a minus b here, and then for the other term, you want to think of binomial formula, like a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, if you've got that down, but you don't want to have the 2 in here. Okay, so that's the important thing to keep in mind. It's just going to be a squared plus ab plus b squared, and here it's going to be a minus b. All right, so this is just something to remember. Remember the a minus b, then remember that term. But I'll also explain to you how it comes. Okay, so how do you actually guess that this formula should be true? And the guesswork is actually very related to what I just said, because what you can do is, and I'm just going to erase this all out, is the main step you have to think about is you have to think about, and this is kind of also going to help to remember, but the main thing you have to think about is there should be an a minus b. So typically when you factor, for example, you know, if you factor a polynomial like a cubic or a quadratic, right? If you factor something like, for example, x squared minus 4 is equal to x minus 2 times x plus 2, that is telling you that when x is plus or minus 2, the left hand side is 0. So you should have an x minus 2 and an x plus 2, so that the right hand side is 0 precisely when the left hand side is 0. Okay, this is like factoring a quadratic. It's the same idea for the difference of cubes formula. You know that when a is equal to b, you know that the left hand side is 0, so you know there should be an a minus b here. Okay, that's number one. Number two is you want to figure out what the other term is, right? So suppose you want to do it You can do it with what is called polynomial long division. I'm not going to do it that way. Essentially, I'm going to do it that way. But what I'm going to do is just show you how we think about it. It's going to be a minus b times something. What is the something going to be? It is essentially the idea of polynomial long division. The point is that we must have a squared here because you need to create an a cubed and you have an a. So you must have an a squared. Then you must have also, by the same reasoning, a b squared because you have a minus b and a minus b cubed. So to get the minus b cubed here, you have to multiply with a b squared. And then the question is, what else do you have, right? What else do you have in the middle? And the idea behind that is kind of to think about adding this all up, right? Suppose we just multiplied a minus b times a squared plus b squared, right? So I'm going to remove the equal sign. What we're going to get is we're going to get a cubed plus ab squared minus ba squared minus b cubed. You just multiply pairs of terms, one term here, one term here. A times a squared plus a times b squared minus b times a squared minus b times b squared. Okay, so you've got these terms, and now you see that we've almost got the formula, except we've got this unfortunate ab squared minus ba squared term. And then you think about how you try to adjust so you can cancel off the ab squared and the ba squared, right? So what do you have to multiply with a, or what do you have to multiply with b to kind of cancel off the ab squared, right? You'd want to multiply the b with an ab. Because if you multiplied here you have a minus b times ab, you'd get a minus ab squared. So then you sort of guess that, okay, this isn't quite right. So I'm going to adjust to kind of cancel off those extra terms. I'm just going to add on a squared plus ab plus b squared, right? So the principle is that the ab times the minus b will cancel off this term. Now we're lucky in that there's nothing else to do. It so happens that also if you multiply the ab times the a, you're going to get an a squared b, and the a squared b is going to cancel with the minus ba squared. So simply adding on the ab, right, if we take this and we hypothetically add it on, and a minus b times ab, that would then give us the right answer, and that is telling us that therefore we have to add the ab inside there. Inside this expression we need to add an ab to get the right formula. Okay, so that's kind of an insight. It's basically polynomial long division. So if you've seen that, you can kind of do the same principle, except there are two variables. So that's the kind of catch to it. But the idea is the same. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you love this video about the difference of cubes formula, deriving it, remembering it, and understanding where it comes from. Drop me a comment down below if you have any questions, and please leave a like and subscribe. My goal is to create free accessible math education worldwide. And by liking and subscribing, you really go a long way towards helping me achieve the goal. And thank you so much for watching. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you in the next video.